Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Mystic Tides Tarot YouTube channel. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but I have been trying something slightly different with each video just to try to find my own style and pacing. So sorry if it's a bit all over the place. I just really want to make sure that this channel is bringing what it needs to bring in the best way possible. So I guess that's the only thing I really wanted to say. This is just going to be a reading, a general reading. This is not going to be a pick a card. I will be using both of these decks. That's the Murder of Crows Tarot that you just saw me shuffling. That's right there. And then this one is the Halloween Tarot. You've probably seen it around. You've probably seen both of these around. They are mass market decks. But yeah, so today I felt called to pull on the topic of what's going to happen next, be that in career, love, spiritual type of things. I'm always going to sound like this, I guess. I want to come off as clear and concise and cohesive as possible, but I cannot deny my true personality, and I also cannot deny who I am. And this is who I am right now. So this is what you guys are going to get, and I hope you can appreciate it. Okay, Hanged Man came out. We're just going to put this guy right here. The Hanged Man's been coming out a lot, I've noticed, and this can be seen as a couple of different things. The Hanged Man is reminding us that there are periods in our life where we really can't do anything. Like, there's no action that can be taken, no physical action. What you can do is try to fucking take a break and relax and just chill for a minute. You know, like, he's chilling. He's not stressed out. He's not worried, which seems very odd in this position. Like, if you're hanging upside down, that's not your most comfortable position in general when you're thinking about, I'm going to relax, right? So it's almost like you're being asked to stay still in a position that is not comfortable for you. And obviously, we're going to want to fight this because, duh, self-preservation and whatnot. But you're here for a reason. And the reason may not even be a new reason. You've probably more than likely found yourself in this position before and may not have even realized it because you were fighting so hard against it that you missed the opportunity to embrace the Hanged Man and his lesson. So that's what's coming through right now. But where are you going next? Ironically, the Hanged Man comes out, right? So where are we going next? Actually, sit your ass down. That's what the Hanged Man is saying right now. So it just cracks me up because a lot of the times, like, as readers, we want to, you know, plan, what is this spread, what is the layout of this reading, how many cards do we want to pull. We're trying to have some type of structure because we want to stay on track with time or with a specific type of theme, and then the cards come out and they totally are like, no, we're gonna do what we want to do. Like, you're connecting with spirit, you're connecting with the ancestors, the deities, the guides, the energies, the collective, whatever you resonate with. You're calling on this non-physical energy. Okay, I just got like mad ringing in my ears. But yeah, confirmation again. You're calling on this thing that is not, you know, human in the sense of the way that I'm human and physical and you can witness me in this way. And you expect us to play by those human physical rules? I don't think so. So, you know, that's kind of what this represents. And then also this deck in the beginning for me called me, not for this reading, but like when I first purchased it, because I was working with a very specific deity energy. So I think that's another reason why it's kind of a jokester. I wouldn't say trickster because I don't like using that word. I think it sets up the wrong interpretation for the description of that energy. Oh. Okay, so I just had two cards jump out. The King of Swords, Eight of Cups, and King of Swords. Okay, so you're prepared to leave. And these birds are all facing that direction. So the way that I see it is past, present, future, right? So it's like you're moving towards something in the near future. And these two birds facing this way is kind of telling me, but something's kind of not letting you move so swiftly that direction. And the Eight of Cups is, cups is emotion, right? So it's like this leaving is tied to emotions. Like, it's not just like all right, well, I got stuff to do, so I'm gonna leave. Peace out. See you guys in a bit. It's not that kind of goodbye. It's an emotional goodbye, whether it's emotional to you out loud or like behind closed doors where nobody knows. That is, for you to know. But there's this emotional goodbye that's going to happen, and maybe that's why this is going on with that whole like, where are you going next? It's kind of like, sit still for a minute, because it's trying to prevent you from bypassing the emotions that you need to go through in order to fully exit the way that you're supposed to. So this stalling is not because you just need to be patient. It's because it's stalling so that you can process what's being left or what you're leaving. Now, with the King of Swords, this tells me that this is no coincidence that you're leaving. It's more than likely because you finally spoke, communicated, or came into some deep clarity about the current situation or this like energy that you've been dealing with, whether it's like a life event or like in a specific category of life, like in your career, in relationships, etc., etc. So I want to congratulate you, because being able to speak your truth is one of the hardest things that people who are connected to their emotions go through, because you're feeling all of it. You're not just feeling your emotions, you're also feeling others. And then if you're someone, because this is King of Swords, this is not like the Page, this is not like the Baby of Swords, like this is someone who is logical. So this tells me you know what it's like to be in your headspace quite a bit. So not only are you carrying your emotions and possibly the emotions of others, but you've thought it through so much that you've even carried the emotions of possible scenarios of things that have yet to even happen, that may not even happen. And that is so heavy. So, I mean, you have the potential to do great things, which is why you even are able to do that. But this stalling of the Hanged Man with this goodbye is telling us that we need to learn how to process these emotions in a way that it's not as heavy. The crown is heavy on the brow, and it need not be. And the only way we learn how to lessen that weight is by processing what has to be processed, which you can only do if you sit there for a frickin' minute. Which I know, it's like, I'm getting a little frustrated and flustered as I talk about this because it's annoying and I'm feeling that annoyance, and maybe that's an annoyance that you have because it's infuriating, and I get it, okay? So I think we're done with this deck, and let's go on to this deck. So let's see, what can we do to help get through this processing of emotions? Like, how can we best process those emotions? Or maybe like some tips on how to get through those emotions and get out of this Hanged Man space. This one and this one. King of Wands. Death, of course. And the Sun. Oh, that's beautiful. So it ends on a good note. At least that. At least that, right? So King of Inks. Oh my goodness. Why are you doing this to me? Okay. King of Imps. Now I'm questioning whether I'm even saying that right. King of Imps. After the King of Swords moment and the processing of these emotions, we can then step back into the actual royalty like essence that we need, because we went from logic, serious, you need to know my boundaries and this is what it is, which has its time and moments, of course, where it's necessary. But the King of Imps is about that party, is about like that charisma, that uniqueness, that talent, okay? Like the King of Imps is someone who is gonna have a good time and is going to show others how to have a good time and is someone who knows how to lead others in having a good time. It's not just good times though. It's good times not because, you know, we're just gonna party. Like this is good times because we're following our passions, our heart's desires, and we're not going to be thinking our way into death about it, right? So like with the death card here, it's kind of like the King of Imps is on the horizon. This is the King of Wands, by the way, in a, you know, regular traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck. But the King of Imps is the King of Wands. The death card here, the only major arcana, actually, what I'm lying here, there's 3 major arcana. Oh my goodness, this energy is silly. Maybe it's this deck. The King of Imps, the death. Oh my goodness. Okay. We're just gonna roll with it. Death, the Sun, Hanged Man. So we do have 3 major arcanas. So half of the cards in this spread are major. And then we have 2 core cards. So this is a lot of like dealing with the self and parts of the self and major transitions during this period of our life. Like this is not like a chill time. And it's hot right now, by the way, in this room. It feels really hot. But the death tells me, and we're also kind of like in that season, right? Like the season where a lot of different beliefs, cultures celebrate, you know, people that have passed away. So this energy is just big in general, all across the board. But when we think about death, we also think about the things that were, and maybe we also think about the things that need to be put to death, right? And this is more of like an introspective time for you, but on the other side of it is the Sun. So it's kind of like saying, you know, once you get through this period that's a bit like tough, it's emotional, it's maybe a little messy, it's maybe a little like, it feels a little dark, right? You get into this beautiful flow of like, okay, we're going to be charismatic and passionate, and we're going to find that fire, that flame that we may have lost during this period, but we have to continue to release some stuff. And then once we're done releasing this stuff, we can go ahead and just bask in the warmth of the Sun. And you know, like the Sun, hot, heat, King of Imps, Wands, heat also. So there's a lot of heat in general. That's probably also why the room feels hotter than it did when I was in the beginning of the reading. But this is just such a beautiful energy. Yes, it's yucky a little bit in the beginning. It doesn't feel very good, but we end in such a beautiful, beautiful card here with the Sun. And this is also a card that is significant of exposure. And I wouldn't say exposure in a bad way. I would say, like, for example, like I said, the King of Imps is the popular person. This tells us that this popularity is here to stay. And you are someone that should be watched. You are someone that the sun does need to shine on. And maybe you weren't ready for that before. Maybe you had to go through this in order to prepare you, to initiate you into this time where you do let the sun shine on you, where you can actually use all of your intelligence and your intellect and your logic in a way that really brings people to you and really marries the passions that you have and that others have via that intellectual, like, boss energy that you also carry. So this is all I have for you right now. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Please comment if you have any comments. It's okay if you don't like the way that I do readings. I will accept those comments graciously and with poise as well. But I will see you next week, and thank you for watching.